I had these obsessive desires and thoughts wanting to control them, to, I don't know how to put it, possess them permanently.
And that's why you killed them?
Right, right. Not because I was angry with them, not because I hated them, but because I wanted to keep them with me.
Jeffrey Dahmer was a serial killer, and that's pretty much how to sum up his life. He was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on May 21st, 1960. Growing up, he was a regular child. He was energetic and happy, like most children. But it mostly changed when he was about 4 years old, where he had to get surgery to correct his double hernia. It seemed to affect the child. He wasn't as energetic and happy as he was before. Some sources say he was deprived attention when he was a child, and others saying that he's had a lot of attention. No one truly knows if he got attention or not. Sometimes his father would teach him how to bleach and clean the skulls of animals. He would also dissect some animals and keep their skulls. One time, he decapitated the carcass of a dog before nailing the body on a tree and impaling the skull upon a stick in the woodland. As a prank, he invited his friends to his house to display the carcass and discovered his remains by chance. His father also taught him how to preserve the bones of animals. He was also interested in how the bones fit all together. There was also one time where he went fishing and basically cut up the fish to, see the inside. And his response into why he was doing it was,
I just wanted to see what its insides looked like.
He was usually seen as an outcast in high school during his freshman year. By 14, he would also start drinking alcohol and beer. Staff saw him as a polite and intelligent fellow, although he had a pretty average grade. By senior year, he would turn into a class clown, and he actually started a thing called the Dahmer in his school, where he would spasm out and act stupid. But not even a month after graduating, not even 1 or 2 months after graduation, he had murdered his first victim, thus starting the serial killer's spree. Not long after graduation, he killed his first victim. On June 18th, 1978, Dahmer picked up Steve Mark Hicks, a hitchhiker who was almost 19. He was coming back from a concert.
Hey, hello. You just get out of the concert?
Yeah, great show.
Where are you headed?
I made it this far. I'm headed back to Akron.
You wanna party some more?
Sure.
All right, get in. My name's Jeffrey.
Steven Hicks. Nice to meet you.
In that case, he just wanted to pursue them feelings. When they started drinking, Dahmer would get a dumbbell and knock Steve out. He would then just start beating him to death with it. Now, one thing that sets Jeffrey Dahmer apart from a lot of other serial killers is the way he killed and or disposed his victims. He would dissect the body of Steve in his basement, and this would usually be a reoccurring thing with his other murders. And, he would usually, play with it and then just look inside. Now, in the case of Steve, he would dissect his body in his basement. He would also preserve most of their skulls and keep them as souvenirs. And that's how Steve Hicks was killed, and this started a serial killing. Dahmer would continue his education by going to Ohio State University, but he would later drop out. He wasn't a married man and was mainly just a loner. He would have relationships oh my lord. He would have relationships with some people, but after a while, he would just break off the relationship. There was one, intimate relationship he had, but nothing really happened, so yeah. Most people saw him as a well-mannered and soft-spoken man, even when he was caught. He was found guilty on 15 murder counts and was sentenced to 15 life terms, or 957 years in prison. Now, Jeffrey Dahmer really didn't have any chance of winning. There was so much evidence in his apartment, which was held against him, from Polaroid photos of all of the victims that he murdered to the skulls and remains of them. Yes, he kept the skulls in the closet. That's how messed up this man was. He would also just bury the remains of some of his victims or burn it with acid. During the trial, it was noted that he was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, a mental disorder characterized by unstable moods, behaviors, and relationships. But he was still considered as sane during the trial. Now again, he was sentenced to 15 life terms in prison, which basically meant 957 years, and that didn't, I don't think he's going to survive that long. Jeffrey Dahmer didn't even last more than 3 years in prison. He was beaten to death by another inmate by the name of Christopher Scaver, and that is basically the end of Jeffrey Dahmer's story.